Huh.
Hello, one and all, and I'm BrickingUpBrad.
I'm Matt Mellish.
I'm Block.studios.
And I'm Ethan the Artisan.
And we're the Stud Buds.
Woo!
Hello, one and all. I hope you're all having a fantastic day and past week. We haven't seen you guys in a week, and we're really excited to have another Stud Bud show. Was Zane not here last week? Why do I feel like
I was not.
wasn't.
Yes, which he was doing something even more important. He was celebrating his anniversary. And I don't even know if did you watch the show? Because we all wished you a happy anniversary.
Y'all, I don't want to be that person. Everyone's gonna hate me if you guys want to just unfollow me now. I did not watch our own show. I'm sorry. I will watch it. I gotta watch back so I can make some content and do the whole 9. But
We are having new Stud Buds auditions. Zane is no longer supportive of what we're doing here on the show, and
exactly. So we need someone with an orange beard. That's the big wait. Wait. Hold up. I think we got a person who could actually replace Zane. I mean, he knows how to stream. So
he does. He's very good at it.
It might be an
guys,
upgrade.
Yeah.
why am I taking the heat? What the heck?
All right, guys. Let's actually bring on the reason why so many of you have popped into the stream today. So all the way from Lego Masters Season 3, the winner of it, part of the winning team, also an amazing streamer, content creator, and mock builder, which we're going to get into all that, guys. It is BrickinNick. Hello.
Everyone, great to be here. Thanks so much for having me. Also, Zane, man, you did not deserve any of that flag. It was your anniversary. Like, what are you saying? You're gonna be like,
Thank you.
Oh, honey, sorry, I'd love to celebrate with you, but like, I'm actually just gonna watch all my nerdy Lego friends chat in. No.
Right, like you enjoy your dinner. I'm gonna watch these 3 other dudes while you enjoy your dinner. Thank you.
So unrealistic.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you.
There's always a replay. There's always a rewatch. It's there forever.
I'll get to it.
I lost every train of thought I just had.
Hey,
Welcome, Nick. Okay. Welcome. Thank you for coming on
Thank you
tonight.
for
We
having
really
me, guys.
appreciate it.
I appreciate it. I'm excited to be here.
Yes. So let's get right into it. Like, we're gonna ask you a bunch of questions. We're gonna interrogate you. So I'm gonna let's that's the wrong screen.
I didn't click anything. I don't know. Usually it's me that messes up, but it wasn't me.
Nope.
See, it wasn't me. I told you.
You're
Bouncing
so
all over the
sorry
place
that
here.
today is chaos. All right, so we're gonna put you in the big screen because we want to ask you questions. We want to make sure everyone sees your reactions, and as you talk about this stuff, I want to start off with a quick question.
Sure.
Because so I'm a big fan of original themes. I'm a big fan. I want to know, what theme did you start off with? What theme got you into Lego? Like, because I know from Lego Masters that it, like, your first set wasn't a Star Wars set, which I'm always happy to see. So
wait, no, did you say it was a Star Wars set?
Wasn't. Sorry.
Wasn't. Sorry. Yes. Okay. Gotcha.
So, like, what Lego themes, like top 5 Lego themes, if you could start with that, maybe just to.
So yeah, I mean, I definitely just liked, I think Lego sort of as a system, really, it was like what caught me about it at first. I think the first blocks I admittedly built with might not have even been Lego. They were just some random blocks at my grandmother's house that I remember kind of being drawn to. And then eventually I did get my hands on my first Lego set, which was the one you saw on the show, the rescue truck. But I will actually admit, and I don't know if you might be a little disappointed now. One of the first big themes to really draw me in, and I think my first mocks might have even been based on this theme, like the ones that I would call mocks and took pictures of and posted them online, were because of Star Wars. I was really excited about the first licensed theme. My parents had the movies on VHS, and they really liked watching them, so of course I really liked watching them too. And so I do think Star Wars and the whole sci-fi aspect of it and all the cool vehicles and ships especially did kind of draw me into, getting into a little more into mock building. So I would probably put Star Wars quite up there on my list of themes. I've definitely very much faded out of my interest, especially in terms of the Lego realm. Not that I don't find Lego Star Wars sets exciting and stuff, but I think I'm a little more drawn into like the icons theme now. A lot of the video game related stuff is really fun. And then, you got all the classics like, the modulars and stuff like that, which are always really cool. So
love it.
Nice. I guess I will go next and ask a question. So I guess take us from your beginning stages with that first set and how you got kind of to this point. hit all the big marks with it. What took you through to the social media side of things and all that?
Yeah, you got it. So yeah, my journey started with, the blocks on my grandmother's, slowly evolved. Star Wars got me more into mock building. And then Flickr was one of, I think, the first big pushes into kind of like, oh, wow, there's other people doing this thing. They're building really amazing stuff. I want to build more stuff like this. So that kept me inspired, I think, kind of through high school when you would maybe start to lose a little more interest in the world of Lego building. It was nice having kind of a community I could go to and share in this passion with. And that led into like some in-person meetups here in Toronto, the creation of Toronto Lego user group, which I kind of played a little bit of a part in. And then I went to like my first Brick World in 2012 in Chicago, got to meet tons of amazing people there. And so like the passion for building was kind of growing and growing. And then it was actually through my interest in the video game Destiny. We discovered Twitch. Because I hadn't heard of Twitch at all ever, but I had discovered it because of Destiny. And then as I was exploring Twitch at that time, they were very luckily promoting like creative content on Twitch. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's this huge platform I've never heard of. There's got to be people doing Lego building on this thing, right? And I was like shocked to find there was like nobody who had ever done any sort of like consistent Lego content on there. I was like, I feel like this is a place there should be like a Lego community. So I'm going to start like trying to do this. And it worked out that a couple other people kind of caught on at around the same time. So we had this like little community growing, and then it slowly just snowballed into, us doing like cool things like a giant build at TwitchCon. I got to do some cool like stream events with like Overwatch. So just like being a Lego builder and like having a bunch of interests adjacent to a lot of things that the Twitch community loves just really allowed for me to kind of grow my platform and find lots of opportunities. And I'm incredibly grateful to still be able to be doing all that today.
Awesome.
Wow.
You know how to answer these interview questions. I wonder why.
I might have done one or two before.
See, but I've got a more unique
Go for it.
question you might not be ready for.
Uh-oh.
All right. So when you're getting ready for the day, okay, you're ready to walk out the door. Are you a sock shoe, or are you a sock shoe type of person?
Oh, socks are like almost first thing in the morning, man. Like I work in a basement. I live in Canada. It's pretty cold most of the time. So I need like socks first thing in the morning.
So it's not even a question. It's socks and then shoes, right?
100%.
Because we've had this conversation. Because if you go sock, shoe, what are you going to do if there's a fire? You got one fully shoed foot and then like a barefoot? Like, what are you going to do?
It doesn't make sense. Efficient. I don't really get like... Yeah, why would you do that?
That's
like, and isn't it just more comfy putting your two socks on back to back? Because like, what are you gonna do? Put this like the socks down? Like you put one sock on, put the other one down, grab a shoe, put that shoe on, then you grab the other sock back, and like, but you could have just had both kind of in your hands at once.
It doesn't make sense, right? Right.
I don't know which one of you here does that, but I'm saying I'm concerned.
I ask everyone that question because I saw a video about it, and I was like, "There's no way that there's actually anybody who does this." And I'm genuinely curious when someone's going to be like, oh, yeah, I go sock, shoe, because I want to know what the thought process behind that is. But
and it's like milk before the cereal, then the milk.
It's always cereal first.
Cereal first, 100%.
We just want to see what the Canadian is like.
Right.
Oh,
right.
Yeah,
Canadian, milk, you think we're weird or something?
No.
Yes.
I mean,
no.
I mean, that's cool. And so in prison here in America, they have bagged Kool-Aid. Bet y'all didn't know that.
Same idea?
I think different idea.
A drink shouldn't come in a bag. I'm just saying, okay.
It can be a very good vessel for liquids, actually. And
You just cut the corner off, right?
If you think about it, think about most cartons, right? Like a carton of milk technically has plastic on the inside to coat it. So like, isn't it just a bag conformed to the shape of a box? So you basically have bagged milk anyways?
That's a very good point. So, my genuine question, though, besides the sock shoe thing,
Sorry
is
for the sidetrack.
You should be sorry, Nick. Thanks for taking us down.
No, it was all my fault. All my fault.
Don't let Brad hear that. He won't stop.
We're getting used to the Canadian sorry. We're getting used to that.
I love it.
We're really good. You guys went in there fast, eh? Give me a couple minutes to get acclimated here.
You gotta understand, you're a second Canadian to be on the show, so you should feel very honored.
Who was the first one?
It was Sheepwrecked.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I kind of forgot about that just until
I did too. So my actual Lego question is your glaive. So Was that inspired obviously by Destiny, but was that like a self-interest thing, or was that like people like, hey, you should make this, I think it'd be really cool, or did you just want one genuinely?
I've kind of like always liked the idea of like doing various Destiny things life size. I've done like a lot of like there's a couple other Destiny guns I got in the background here and stuff.
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed life size things for sure. And the glaive is of course extremely large. And so like I was sort of looking for an excuse to do one. I think I would have done one no matter what, but then it ended up working out that I was doing this event called GCX, which is it stands for Gaming Community Expo, but it actually originally was called like Destiny Con, and then it became Guardian Con. So it's like a very Destiny focused event, and a lot of people involved with it love Destiny. And they were having a cosplay contest, and I suggested that we build the glaive and have that be like the prize for winning the cosplay contest. So yeah, it just kind of worked out to be a really great excuse for me to take on a fun project.
So you don't have it anymore then?
Admittedly, it's still here in the background. It took me. It was like I'm ready to ship it out now. I needed to order like a custom plaque for it. I got like a piece printed with like GCX cosplay contest winner on it, and then I stole a couple pieces from it, and it took me a while to get them reordered. So it's now ready to be delivered to its final home.
Ethan,
and I checked in with the person who won, and they were cool with me holding on to it for a few months. I meant to bring it to Big Fair, Virginia, but I totally forgot. So.
Sweet.
I mean, you brought a pretty awesome mock out to Brick for Virginia, if I remember it. You had the whole Mario setup, right? Or was it?
No, I did have the big Mario setup. Yeah, no, that was a really fun one. I've definitely just been lucky to kind of come upon some really fun ideas for mocks. The Mario one was super cool in that it was like playable. So you could like take the Lego Super Mario they created and like run him through it, and have different parts of the levels be revealed and stuff. So yeah, that was definitely fun film. It's the only time I've actually displayed it so far. So I'm hoping to bring it to Chicago next year though. So fingers crossed.
But speaking of mocks, this is a question that I ask every single
here we go.
Every single guest, and you're someone who builds a lot. Like just scrolling on your Instagram, you have so many builds, like, and it's so cool to look at.
Thanks, man.
But out of all your builds, what is your favorite Lego color to build with?
Favorite Lego color? Favorite Lego color. I feel like the first one that typically jumps out to me is dark blue. I do love dark blue a lot. And I mean, like, I've worked that into like my branding, like all of the dark blue and any of the branding, my branding you see is the Lego dark blue, like I dropped or whatever. And like, I don't know if I remember the color code, but yeah, I do really love the Lego dark blue. But I mean, there's just so many Lego colors to love, and I pretty much compare everything in real life to Lego colors. I'm like, oh, that's like sand green, and that's dark red, like, and that's medium azure. Like, that's just how I refer to colors now.
And Zane's favorite color is medium nougat. Like,
I love medium nougat.
Medium nougat's a great neutral for like a lot of types of buildings. So like, I'm so with you on that.
Are you more of a sand green or an olive green guy?
I would lean towards sand green, I think.
Sand green.
Olive green's uses are a little more niche, I feel like. There's not as broad applications for it as a color. But I have built with it before, and it is nice too. So I don't know. It's like every Lego color has a purpose, you know?
I agree.
Also, a secondary question. What's your favorite part to build with? Like, what's your all-time favorite Lego piece?
Honestly, like, I actually usually say just the 1x1 plate, because it's just like so small, fits in a lot of places. I like a lot of detailed building, even though I do a lot of big stuff. Like, I think I actually find my most joy and excitement from just like trying to build things at the smallest possible scale. So 1x1 plates, but I will, now that we have it, the 1x1 bracket in particular is pretty fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it does a lot of nice things for Lego math.
So do you prefer your builds smooth rather than studs showing, or do you have a preference?
I would say I like a few studs showing, but not too many. Like, I don't want it stud heavy unless it's like very fitting for what it is. But I don't typically like to remove all the studs unless it's for very particular reasons. Like, I think the PlayStation, which I think I know we're going to be looking at shortly. I don't know if that has any visible studs on it, and like that's okay because the actual real life thing doesn't really have any like texture to it, right? So
yeah, interesting. Matt.
Well, I also just want to go back through the comments just really quickly.
Sure, yeah. Let's say hi to chat. I'd like also hi chat. Well, come on in. Great to see you here.
we have a big question for Brad. What happened to your face? From Nathan.
Brad shaved his face. Everybody, he looks like a 12-year-old.
I was walking outside and suddenly it just fell off. Okay, just the beard just disappeared. You know,
It
was
froze
sad.
off in the cold. in New York.
The real story is I was shaving, trimming up my beard, and I accidentally cut too much. And I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm redoing it.
Yeah, we've
funny
all been
story
there.
though.
We've all been
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
yep. It's a common
Funny
problem.
story to add.
We all
though.
been there. Trust me, we've all been
Oh yeah,
there.
Ethan. yeah, baby face.
Maybe not Ethan. Maybe not Ethan.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ethan. Like, that was a very silly assumption, actually.
Yeah,
My
Ethan's still
phone-
mid puberty, so
My phone uses face scanning to unlock it, and there's been a couple times it hasn't recognized me since I shaved off the beard. So
I know the feeling.
that was a little bit scary to me. But
Oh my goodness, a lot of people like reddish brown apparently.
I feel like
I
that's
think
a joke.
they're
more than
joking about how much that
Yes.
color breaks.
Yeah,
I've broken many reddish brown bricks on my stream over the years. Christy's from my stream, so she's definitely saying that to tease me about all the reddish brown I've broken over the years. Yeah.
What's up, Lisa?
It's the way.
Socks are overrated unless you're in Canada. It's a little quarter.
I mean,
I
that's
don't know.
fair. Like,
I live in New York, and socks aren't overrated here. So
I hate socks. If I don't have to wear socks, I won't. If I put them on, then you know it's cold. I love the cold. Like I love snow, winter, the whole nine.
yeah.
If I put socks on, it's too cold.
Whereabouts
Yeah.
in the world are you from?
I'm in Utah. That's like middle.
I feel like you're not quite far south enough to like ever really feel the desperate need of socks, but so I kind of get where you're coming in from.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, I'm in my bare feet right now.
me too.
I have
Again, in
blankets.
summertime I would be, but it's too
Yeah.
I
cold.
can't blame you. I can't blame you.
I'm
And
cold. I have-
Doodle Bricks, yeah, this conversation is wild. You gotta keep up. We're moving quick.
Yes.
What were you gonna say,
Moving
Brad?
along.
Oh, I was gonna say I have 3 blankets over my legs right now because my roommate refuses to turn on the heat. So
Luckily, I don't have to
Power
pay
bills.
for my heat, which is nice.
How cold is it for y'all? It's like it's nice outside for me. It's like
Nice outside for you? All right, let me get this in
37 right
freedom
now?
units, because since I know you wouldn't understand
Oh,
otherwise.
in freedom units. Oh my god,
Aw.
I have never heard that
You
before,
know
but
what,
that is
though?
fantastic.
That's
can
a,
take
that's a
shots at
stream
you.
original. Like
You
my
can
chat
take
came
shots
up with
at
that,
me.
so you can't even hold me responsible.
For the
Look,
freedom
if
units.
we're taking shots at you, you can most definitely take shots at us.
That was
It is currently
fantastic. though.
39 degrees Fahrenheit in Toronto,
Oh,
It is 27 degrees here.
It's 34 where I am.
which is actually quite warm, but it's been cold over the last little while, and I think it's just gotten warmer over the last little bit.
That's crazy.
It's
Yeah, it
66
seems
degrees
oddly
in
warm.
Panama City.
okay.
Reeling it.
Peeled Brad has returned.
Peeled.
Doodle
Brad?
I want to know what you mean. Does this just mean because of the beard?
Oh, probably. Your
Oh my
face has been
goodness.
peeled away.
Reeling
Yeah.
it back in a little bit. Reeling
Yes.
it back in a little
Lego.
bit. Okay, so Nick,
Yeah.
you were, of course, you did pretty well on season 3 of Lego Masters. You know you
I
had
mean, I think. I don't know.
had a good run. You had a good run.
Isn't bad.
What would you say to people who are, big fans of Lego, getting more into mock building, and maybe who have aspirations, dreams of being on the show?
I would say practice is a very good thing. I actually did a majority of both the season 1 and season 2 challenges. For all of the season 1 challenges, the day after each episode aired, I would do a 3-hour stream, and I would like limit myself within 3 hours to like do the best I could at each of the challenges from the previous night. So I literally like was trying the Lego Master challenges on my own to see how I could do under the pressure of the clock. And I did it live so that I could kind of like cheat the process and stuff. So it was a lot of fun though, and I really enjoyed it. But there were I feel like I definitely kind of learned some things from doing that. So yeah, just getting some firsthand experience with building under the clock, I think is huge. And then I feel like just looking at more efficient ways of building is really important. I think there can be a very big difference with building mocks, like many of us like to do, and then building something for Lego Masters. They are two very different beasts, and you definitely need to be mindful of the differences of them. Yeah. And then I think the third thing I would say is just always remember Lego Masters is a TV show first, a Lego competition second. So yeah, just always keep that in mind.
Great point. Great point. And then I guess because you kind of brought it up, this was something that I've always kind of been wondering about you in particular, and people who do mock building on stream. but I don't feel like I could ever do that, to use my creativity while trying to pay attention to chat and all of the mechanics of it. How do you do it?
I would actually say like I don't always do it. I do it sometimes. Okay. Sometimes I do get so laser focused, chat may as well not be there because I'm not paying attention to them.
Fair.
If I like run into a particularly challenging part of a build, I'm like, all right, chat, like we're on the struggle bus here. Nick is not going to be talking to you. Like he's just going to be focused on the building. Like, and I'm lucky that my community knows very well that I get easily distracted and that like, I do have a hard time staying focused. But admittedly, I think it's just another practice thing. Like I've been streaming for 7 years now. So earlier on, I definitely had a much harder time balancing, chatting and being creative. But over the years, I've gotten a little bit better at kind of like multitasking with it. So
sweet. So with time.
We got a really good question here from the comments. And Dual Bricks asked, may I ask what's the difference between mock building and Lego master building is? And I think this is actually...
Yeah, that's a great question. Thanks so much, Dual Bricks. I would say the main thing is like the level of detail. And you have to remember that the builds that are on Lego Masters are seen for the most part for very brief amount of time and at like very large distances for the most part. Now, that's not to say that small details won't be appreciated. The Brick Masters, I know, scour every build for every inch of every detail you put into your build. So it's not saying that they're not worthwhile. But like, I think for the most part, it's really stepping back from your build more often than you might do normally and kind of think, okay, how does this look from a distance? And like, what kind of building can I do to make this have more of an impact at a distance versus like, it might be fun to do some awesome Lego math and like do some cool snot work, but then you step like 3 feet away and you can't even see that you did that anymore because it's too small and detailed, right? So just kind of like upscaling almost, I would say is like, just keeping things large and big and impactful.
Yeah, because I noticed on some of the shots for Lego Masters when they would be close up, like a lot of things were a little less detailed. And so I'm guessing that's exactly what you're talking about because a lot of times it's like, oh, how does this look far away? How can you take in all of this? And like, does it look good as an entity from far away and not up close? So yeah, that's very interesting. Actually, I don't think many people talk about that.
Yeah.
So.
Zane? 8 to 10 hours to a build is not a lot of time.
that clock goes down so fast. You're always like, oh, that's a good amount of time, and then it's not.
1 hour remaining.
Yeah.
If we all just started flashing our lights red here, would that give you guys like heart attacks or something?
I might not come back. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hit the ground. So, are you standing right now?
I am. Why is it so funny?
That's impressive.
Honestly, it's such a Zane question. That's why.
I'm noticing. Look at that. Do you stand in always stand in live stream, or do you sit or stand like?
No, I pretty much like I'll sit like after like maybe 3-4 hours. But I think like even my first I was a little younger back then, but like when I did like my first 24-hour stream, I stood for like the large majority of it. Wow. Yeah.
What?
And I do have a standing mat. So yeah, like Andrew's pointed out in chat, I do obviously keep in mind that I need to support myself, and not stress my feet out too much and stuff. But I do find it very comfortable for building. And I think we've all seen that there's been a bit of a movement in people who spend their 9 to 5 at the desk. Like a lot of people are investing in standing desks or things that allow them to switch from sitting to standing and stuff, right? So I admittedly feel like it comes with some health benefits too. So it feels like a win-win. I mean, and then I got all the flexibility I want to move around to grab pieces and I don't have to sit down and get up constantly while I'm streaming. So I feel like that works out too.
Nick, you might have a standing mat, but I am a standing mat.
Oh man, you just went there. No, that was a quality dad joke. I'll give that to you.
Oh my gosh.
I had to.
Matt, you want to give us an announcement there or something?
Oh my gosh, Zane, where are you? I feel like I'm losing sight of you there.
I'm moving my standing desk. I was seeing how high up I could go.
Okay, I was like,
while sitting. I didn't know if I could keep going. I was like, oh wait, cords. And I looked at it. I was like, no,
yeah, no, definitely. If you don't move that often, I would not move that too much.
Oh no, I saw. At my job, which I'm a social media coordinator at my job, I have a standing desk that can go up and down. And it's there's times I'm moving up oh, let me grab that cord quickly because I'm about to tow that thing off my desk.
Yep. Gotta be careful. Yeah, admittedly, my standing desk, I could adjust it, but it's never been adjusted ever. So it just stays as is forever.
So we're talking about Lego Masters, and I want to know, because I notice a lot of your mocks are smaller. Like a lot of what you do
Mhm.
is definitely that smaller, close-in detail. Was that a struggle when you had to move to these like bigger mocks and stuff like that? Did that really like, do you feel like the first few episodes you were very affected by that because you went from that smaller to bigger?
Yeah, I do think it was a fair bit of an adjustment. It's like you know that you need to go big for the show, right? Like you obviously see the builds that other people have built in past seasons and stuff. You have a very good idea of like just how much of a scale you need to focus on. And then I think what became more frustrating than anything is like when I did feel like I had opportunities to get in there and show, like, do some detailed building and kind of really let like my favorite part of building happen on Lego Masters, you really don't get to appreciate it on TV. And it's just like, like, man, like nobody really got to see that like awesome little thing we did. And it's just like, I think there was a lot of frustration with just like, even when we did have the opportunity to do it, it just didn't get to be appreciated.
Yeah.
But you know it was there, and that's what's
and
important.
and like, and again, the best part about it is that I know that Amy and Jamie in particular like got to appreciate those things and got to see those things and took the time to like take in all of those details with the builds. And luckily they have time to do that with every single build. So even though like, again, you know, for the sake of TV, a lot of that time it might not feel like that's worthwhile. Luckily there are people there who do get to appreciate it. And they're amazing people. So how exciting is it that Amy and Jamie get to see these cool things, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Are there any specific moments that like where that happened that you can think of immediately that come to your brain?
Yeah, I would say in particular, I think, and I feel like it was maybe a little strategic in how our build was shown, but on the castle episode, I do think they focused on our build from a far distance and never really took the opportunity to get up a little bit closer at some of the details that I think helped our build, you know, like increase the quality of our build, let's say. So that was a little bit of an unfortunate thing to see in that. Like, I just felt like people didn't get to see the best of our build necessarily. But there were also a lot of like really fun little details that I was like so stoked that people got to see. Like I feel like with the spaceship build, they did a pretty good job of like letting you see a little bit into the interior of the ship. So it was cool that like people could appreciate that we put an interior into our spaceship. So that was really fun.
That's awesome.
Nice. Who's up question wise?
I don't know. Nick, do you have any questions for the stud buds?
You never went that direction.
We've never done that.
Hey, you know what? Why not do something spontaneous?
I mean, I can take over for hosting for a little bit. Do you have any questions for you guys? Actually, I'm curious. So obviously we've been very fortunate to see Ethan and all the amazing stuff he's capable of on Lego Masters. But do the remaining three of you have any interest in perhaps pursuing some opportunities on Lego Masters someday?
No.
Very quick and easy.
Sorry. I am very outspoken that like I love the people on Lego Masters. The people have been on Lego Masters. I've worked in the TV world and I never want to be on the other side of that camera for something like that.
I've heard that before.
So, and also because of some medical stuff, like, I mean, like I have IBS. So like, to me, it's like 8 hours standing there sounds awful to me if I know that something like that's going to go off. So
super duper valid.
No offense, Brad. I knew you were gonna say that, and all I could picture was you like, "Hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom." And just like,
exactly.
I'm not filming. I'm like, back. Yeah.
Exactly. So
1 hour remaining. I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
The red lights just literally scared the crap out of him. Like everybody just. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it would be cool, and I have been asked to be on before, but like, my mocks are also only castles related, and so if it wasn't a castle build, I wouldn't.
I mean, I feel like you could make anything a castle.
It's
literally
true.
And like get it back to
probably
castle in
lose
some way.
after a
Like
while,
you could have done a
because they'd be
castle
like,
spaceship.
Yeah.
You could have had dinosaurs roaming through a castle. You could have had a knight riding the bull. Like, see, you have 3 challenges and I've already made them all castle for you.
This is the one thing I'd worry about is they'd be like, well, it doesn't seem like you have range, so we're gonna get rid of you.
I'll give you that one. Very
You just
valid,
got
very valid.
castle.
Yeah.
I would love to do it, but at the same time, I really don't currently have a whole lot of time that I've been mock building. So I would need to feel like more comfortable in that realm before I would then go and put myself on that level. Because if I'm going to compete, I want to compete.
Yeah,
in a sense.
100%. I like that.
I I'm different than ever, but I'm sure. Let's do it. I don't even care.
Okay, sweet.
If I'm gone episode 2, I'm down. I don't even care. Like, I'm just happy for the experience. I'm happy for the time. I know how TV works. I've, like Brad said, I've been on like the commercial side of things and doing things like that, and not necessarily like reality TV because that's a whole nother animal. But I don't mind doing that kind of stuff. I don't care. So I would like it. It would be fun. I would set the time aside for it and just see where life takes me.
Yeah, I like that approach. And I will say, like, whether or not you think you can go, you know, the full mile or whatever, or like even if you think you can just do a couple of steps of the journey, I think the journey, whatever size it may be, is super duper worthwhile. I would have been just as happy with the experience to go home on episode 1 versus episode 13, like whatever it would have been. The people, the honestly, just having 5 million bricks to build with, like, is just so dang cool. It's really hard to kind of replace that feeling and experience. So,
nice. Awesome. Ethan, ask a question.
Ethan, are you going to be on Lego Masters? I mean, I don't think we'd ever. You know, you got such great skill. And
I mean, maybe I'll maybe season 4. Maybe I'll be in the first 3 episodes this time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They're gonna bring you back just for those first 3 episodes because those are the ones. That
Why are we jabbing at Ethan?
I don't know. It's more fun.
We've jabbed at everyone else.
Ethan, ask Nick a question.
Besides Lego, do you have any like other hobbies?
Me? Yeah.
Video games.
I would say gaming is definitely up there. I know we talked about that briefly earlier. I still play Destiny. I mean, it's Destiny 2 now, not Destiny, but I still play Destiny. And I do love like a lot of gaming experiences. Again, it's a very much a thing I wish I had more time for. But I enjoy playing Fall Guys with my fiance. And then I do like have a pretty strong interest in like the Pokemon trading card game. I actually played competitively for a little bit. It's been a long time since I've like actually dedicated any time or effort to it, but I always think like, man, if a couple more hours in the day appeared suddenly, I would definitely fill that with like playing Pokemon. So.
Oh, for sure.
That's interesting. I didn't expect that one.
Yeah,
I like Pokemon.
I love the Pokemon trading card game.
Wow, and I like everyone listen to that. Not just Pokemon, not Pokemon Go, Pokemon trading card.
Yeah, I'm talking about a 60 card deck, a couple energies, couple Pokemons and trainers.
This is what you do. If you want to keep it content related and you go the Lego route, you just do the Lego Knights Kingdom 2 trading card game.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know there was a trading card game.
I have a bunch of them, and they're very odd for sure.
Okay.
Leave it to Brad to bring up Castle somewhere in that.
It was relevant.
I was about to say, like, yo, when I like, let me know when I can come over and like check them out because that'd be so sweet to see.
I gotta pull them out of my collection again because I got a ton of them from different lots, and I just like put them together. I gotta actually research the game too, so I'll let you know about that.
Wait, okay. I want to answer this. I don't know if it's popped up yet. Why is this the range? Why am I the top and Ethan's the bottom? Why? Like, it's factual. I mean,
that's the range of.
Why couldn't we say like between like 18 and like 40? Like, why couldn't we like? Why is there?
You're not 40.
Names? I'm not, but I'm just saying.
I think she's assuming that he's in the range.
I feel like I should be older than Zane though.
That's
how old.
Look, I have white in my I've got chunks of gray coming in.
Yeah, but
you've got a healthy
young for some people. So like,
I'm dying early. I feel like 50 is my end. I feel like I've got till 50. And
where's the optimism, man? Like this is a Lego stream. We got positivity and optimism here. None of this negativity, man.
I went to the doctor the other day. I've got this degenerating eye disease. I've got heartburn medication. Like I've got all this stuff happening. I'm 50. I'm lucky to get to 50.
Oh my
I want to apologize for how chaotic this stream has gotten already.
Yo, it wouldn't be a live stream without chaos. So like, I'd be disappointed if this wasn't happening. Let's be real.
Well, I'm 27. If you need to know the truth.
You're 27.
Do you see his face just now? Everyone, do you see his face?
That's great. Yo, like honestly, with the way you like I actually would have said you were like again younger than me because you are. But like I feel like as you talked more, I started pushing your age up because you just made me think. Like I don't have heartburn medication yet, so I'm like
pushing the age up. Like, ooh. It's honestly all the traveling and all the horrible foods over the years.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
So
I mean, horribly delicious, right?
horribly delicious.
Horribly delicious.
Moto, if he's dying at 50, I've got 1 month to live.
I didn't say we were all dying. I just said you were.
Just him,
I was
just him.
dying. Just not you, me.
Also, yeah, you're just very much not old. I'm 30 now, so I'm in my 30s. Which, like, I don't know about you guys, like 30s is feeling pretty good. Like, you know, I mean,
I'm not even in my
right,
20s yet.
Starting
The
off
best
well.
is yet to come, friends. The best is yet to come.
Yeah, indeed. Trying to reel it back in a little bit because, somebody's got to do it here. Nick, was this the first time you built with a partner? Have you ever done that in the past? What was that like?
Yeah, I would
In
say it's
person.
like pretty much one of the first times I've ever built like alongside someone, at least that much for sure. I feel like I've like done an occasional like collab for a convention maybe where we got together once or twice to like bring some things together and collaborate on a few items, but definitely not to this scale.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like sort of like what I did for season 2 was me and a buddy, we both live streamed and did building. We were not together in person, but like we were working and coordinating. So
Cool.
I think it was sort of similar, but again, without it being in person, it's really not the same. So
Right.
yeah, this was definitely I would say first.
For sure.
Wow,
And
what a
then I
random
guess-
answer that was. My goodness, I'm so sorry.
No, that was good. That was perfect. What would be your favorite, or if you can't pick one, like top 3 favorite moments from the show?
Top 3 favorite moments from the show. I think like the first time walking in was pretty darn like wow, like oh my gosh, this is really happening. Another top moment, I would say, and like this isn't necessarily one moment, but many moments. But Crash's, you may have heard that Crash did like a hype up for us on a regular basis on the show.
That's cool.
And I think those were really special in that like they were kind of a good opportunity for us to like step out of the madness of the challenges and the clock and the chaos and the competition and just like be excited about getting to do something so awesome. So I was very grateful for those. And then like honestly, probably the family visit. Like getting to have my fiance there and Stacey getting to have her dad there and seeing everybody's families and getting to meet them and connect with them and just have like people in our lives understand like in a deeper way like what the experience was.
That's awesome.
I think it's something that like just cannot be beat. Like because I think you can tell people about an experience as much as you want, but until they're actually there and experiencing it, it's just not going to be the same. So yeah,
Right. Incredible.
winning was up there too, but like I don't want to be like, and I don't know, that's like that obviously is an
Fair.
incredibly exciting moment, but it's
Right.
like like what made it really truly unique and special, the experience, and it was more of those things.
Awesome.
I just thought of another question. How many
Go for
times
it.
did your bow tie break? Did it break any when building?
You know what? I would say not a lot. I didn't even realize that I think during, I want to say the semifinals, like it was clearly broken. Like there was a piece missing on the bow tie at some point on camera. But I think for the most part, it held up pretty darn well throughout the competition.
Sweet.
What made you want to do the bow tie?
I've been doing the bow tie for probably like 5 or 6 years now. I've actually worn that to like some of my family members' weddings. I'm planning on wearing it for my wedding. I've always thought the bow tie was just like, and I like my bow tie design because like it's not immediately like, oh my gosh, that's Lego from like miles away. You kind of have to be a little bit closer to like pick up on that something's a little bit different. So I think it's just like a fun, unique thing that I've enjoyed doing, and I've always saved it for like special events. So if I did like an important charity stream, or if I was hosting some sort of event on my stream, I kind of saved it for that. So we'd make the events a little bit fancier, I guess. And of course, Lego Masters felt like a pretty special occasion, so it just made sense for the show too.
So I'm not gonna lie, I just realized that the bow tie was made out of Lego. I just always like glanced at the photos. I was like, oh, he's wearing a bow tie. Okay. Well,
That's what I like to hear, though. Like it's kind of exciting that I'm like, I fooled you.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Ethan, what were you
And
gonna say?
now that Lego Masters is over and you have that title of winning Lego Masters, what is next for BrickinNick?
I think it's like I certainly have a lot of ideas. I guess I'd say like I'm sort of working on a business plan. Unfortunately, like as exciting as winning Lego Masters is and building cool stuff, if you want to do like a lot of cool things in real life. Unfortunately, there usually has to be some sort of like logical and practical backbone to it. So yeah, I'm kind of like, I have some big ideas, but unfortunately they require some serious adulting, I guess would be the way to describe it. So yeah, there's some stuff I'd like to try to make happen and bring forward. And I think there's some cool ways we can, you know, kind of do stuff within the community. And I would like to try to bring that all forward. But yeah, it requires some less fun things to make happen.
So, do you have a job outside of this, or like what do you do as your normal adulting?
So like I will throw it. I have a background in mechanical engineering. I worked like 1 or 2 engineering jobs after I graduated from university. But at around that time, I was also figuring out that like there was some potential with what I was doing with content creation. And so I've actually been a full-time content creator now for about 2 years.
Oh, that's awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, incredibly fortunate, super duper grateful. I like some things have worked out that I would have never imagined in a billion years. Like part of my full-time job is actually streaming on Amazon. I would have never ever guessed that could even be a thing, let alone that I would be doing it. But it's also helped allow me to do this full time, so I'm beyond grateful.
Yeah, stream on Amazon like a show, like a full-on show.
It's I would describe Amazon sort of like live infomercials. Unfortunately, I try to make them feel as much not like that as humanly possible. I often will just build Lego sets and talk about the Lego sets that I've enjoyed recently and stuff as a way to kind of promote them. But I like try to do it in the least aggressive form possible. And then just, you know, sometimes I'll play video games there. Sometimes I'll do like tech unboxings and setups. I love tech. So, you know, if I can open up something new and set it up, that's kind of fun for me to be able to share with people. So I try to make it as natural as possible.
Sweet.
That's cool.
I think like maybe this will be one of the last questions because we do want to move on to looking at your mocks a bit more closely and you can dissect them for us. But you've been doing this for how long now, streaming?
I started streaming in January of 2016. So yeah, 7 years.
Wow. So what have you learned? What are some of the big things that you've learned in that 7 years through that experience that you would impart to other people who are trying to, you know, do some social media or have aspirations of doing it full time like you?
Yeah, I would say consistency is huge, whether that's, you know, having a schedule for your live streams or even just trying to find whatever fits in with your life. Like, you know, posting once a week, you know, so I know TikTok likes posting once a day and stuff. I could never imagine doing any of that, but like, you know, finding kind of a routine for it that works for you and a schedule for it that works for you, I think is huge. And then just finding a unique approach. Like, you know, there's obviously, you know, tons of Lego fans out there and tons of people who like gaming and all sorts of things. So just finding some little way to just make what you do a little bit different, I think can go a really, really long way to help you stand out. And then just not being afraid to put yourself out there, even when it may not make the most sense. I think like one of the catalysts for allowing me to do this full time and for people to be able to look at what I do and take it a little bit more seriously as like, let's say a business, was when I did my TwitchCon builds, or when we like the brick building community did a build at TwitchCon. At the time, all they were taking submissions for were panels, and I didn't have a panel to submit to them. I wanted to build a giant Twitch logo at the event, but I just submitted it anyways. And they ended up being really excited about it and interested. And like, I think it'd be quick and easy to say, oh, they're only taking submissions for panels, I can't put this idea forward. But it's just like taking that chance sometimes is very worthwhile. And I've even had some of my jobs just come from replying to a random tweet I saw about something and be like, hey, I like doing Lego stuff. Would you want to do a Lego thing here? And then sometimes people actually say yes to these things. And it's like, you really think that it probably wouldn't, but sometimes it does. So taking chances.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anybody else have anything, or shall we move on?
I had one quick question. Sorry.
Sneak it in.
I was watching the last episode before the show because I actually hadn't finished Lego Masters. I want to make sure I'd watched that before we got on here. And there was the part where they brought you the first set that you ever owned for everyone. I gotta know, was that sealed or was that like, you know, box and it was just a Ziploc bag of parts?
I would say probably half of them were not sealed, but in the original box. And then half of them were actually not the original boxes at all. So I actually have it. Admittedly, it's kind of tucked away, so I couldn't grab it for you. But my box for my Lego set is literally some other box with like some sort of print stuck onto all 6 sides of the box.
Oh,
It's actually, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it's like actually kind of a really cool keepsake. Obviously, the original box would have been cooler, but I understand that, you know, in the limited time they had, they might not have been able to find it. So yeah, I kind of have like a cool, unique, one of a kind, custom made Lego box.
Interesting.
Cool. Sorry, it just hurt me a little bit when I first thought they were all sealed sets, because I was like, if you're just like,
oh, for sure,
for 2 parts to put into this mock, that hurts. Like as a collector, like.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. But most of them, I don't think any of them were sealed. I don't think any of them were sealed.
That's good to know.
Yeah, they were all.
They're safe, Brad. They're safe.
I don't know. I just saw 2 castle sets. My heart was like,
oh my goodness.
All right, Ethan, you can switch it over for us.
So you build a lot of mocks. Like I said earlier, like there are so many mocks that you've built. And one thing that you like building is Lego ideas. Mocks from Lego Ideas. If I can pull it up.
For sure. Yeah.
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 And you got like one thing that like it's really cool. And have you ever had any of your builds hit 10,000 like votes on Lego Ideas?
I've had one project hit 10,000 supporters. That was the Tesla Cybertruck, which is right there. I managed to get it posted, I think like 2 weeks after the Cybertruck was initially revealed. So I managed to really catch like the lightning and the interest and all of the, I don't know, debate around whether or not it was the ugliest thing in the world or the most beautiful thing in the world. So yeah, I just had some really good timing with that and luckily got to 10K. Unfortunately, I do believe by that point, there had already been discussions happening in the background between Mattel and Tesla. And I think like sometime last year, I want to say, a mega construct Tesla Cybertruck was released. So I'm very lucky in that I actually know why my project wasn't approved. And it's because very evidently they were making a building set with another company. So I'm actually like, as much as I obviously would have loved that project to be approved, I'm very grateful that I get to know why. So
yeah,
that's cool.
I think one of these days you're going to get another one. Like I will be very surprised if you like in the next couple of years, you're going to get an idea set to become
Thanks, Ethan. I appreciate that.
That'd be really cool. But you got like, look at this. This is, I'm not the biggest, like, I don't have the most knowledge with this, but is this, let's see if I can guess. This is, where's the logo?
How do you not know what this is?
How do you not know what console that is?
Yeah.
Is that PS5? Yeah, I think. But this one's really cool. But yeah, I love how you can open it up too. It's really cool.
The play.
Yeah, in my mind, it's like, yeah, if you're going to do like, you know, something like a console, you don't want just something static. And I think we all love these days how many Lego sets kind of surprise and delight us in a lot of ways in terms of cool, unique functions and hidden things. So I definitely take in lots of inspiration from the amazing designers at Lego and I try to embody them in my own builds. So, yeah.
I mean, just the curve on that, you know, it would have been super easy just to make it flat, but you have a really nice curve to it. And having it where it can open up is really cool. And that controller.
I don't play PlayStation. So is there anything special about the inside of that PlayStation? Like, is there a reason you put those different things in there or was that just kind of for fun?
So the idea was sort of that like what you see there in the interior would be like different video game scenes. So they're currently mystery video game scenes because I didn't want to get into any sort of extra licensing for the project. I just wanted PlayStation to potentially approve it. And then, you know, maybe they would put Horizon Zero Dawn in there or, you know, Little Big Planet or God of War. Obviously God of War probably wouldn't happen in Lego form, but you know, like I wanted to kind of leave possibilities there. So the idea would be that you have these cool game scenes. You can actually take them out and display them separately. So that was sort of the idea there. Yeah.
I like that. That's really cool, actually.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
And you also have a very similar with this is Xbox, but this kind of has that same idea as well. And one thing that I really like with that top left corner, you actually have the Xbox logo using quarter tiles. I thought that was the coolest thing. Like, yeah,
and the controller has it too. So yeah, I think I figured it out for the control, and then I was like, oh, I definitely got to incorporate this into the main model. Those dots, man, I know they've just been announced as retired, but man, have the dots done a lot for the Lego builders.
Oh yeah, they're like, it's like that. It adds that. Especially there's one dot set that's like a $20. It has so many tiles. I love, like, it's perfect for mock building.
Such fun stuff.
But that control, getting that shaping is really difficult, especially with that controller.
Very impressive.
Yeah, the controller was one of the hardest parts of that. The Xbox admittedly came together in about, I think, half the time as the PlayStation builds, just because, like you said, getting the curves on the whole body and everything, and Just the scale of the PlayStation 2 was fairly complex. So yeah, but I do like the Xbox one almost like a tiny bit better because when you open the door on the side to reveal the game scenes slide out a little bit along with the door, and then they slide back in when you close the door. So they kind of slide out a little bit, which is cool.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Then next we have, this is probably one of my favorite. Like this is something that I can see displayed in the back. Like this is really cool. Like
thanks, Ethan. Yeah.
Like it's just really cool.
I really did have fun bringing this one to life. I kind of noticed that the direction of a lot of fun Lego builds are sort of more like art pieces or display pieces for the home. And I was like, what better way to kind of show love to the brick that we all grew up with and know and love, other than than with the patent, which kind of celebrates what made the Lego brick so unique and original as a building block. Even though Lego wasn't necessarily the first to create an interlocking brick system, obviously I think with the patented tube and stud thing and whatever, like they really found a magical way to bring it together, and I think it's obviously allowed for such a cool system for us. And then I definitely wanted to, give people options rather they get displayed. So it's a 2-in-1, and you can actually take the frame, unbuild it, and then rebuild it into the easel that it's in the right picture there. So unfortunately, that project actually did expire, but I'm going to repost it in the near future. So
that's cool.
But I like, this is really cool. Like, especially it kind of goes with like, they've been doing like the Van Gogh set and the wave that just came out. I mean, I could see that kind of going along with those sets as well.
Yeah,
really cool.
Exactly.
But now with the Fall Guys set, like I remember playing this
Fall Guys
a couple months ago.
Fall Guys is so much
it's really
fun.
fun.
Yeah,
I like that you made it modular too. That's really cool on the ends there. I mean, I'm guessing each of those can come in different parts.
Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely separate all 4 segments, and they all can like be either operated independently, or if you link them together with one crank, they can all move. So the spinning platform on the right obviously spins in circles. The dinosaur moves back and forth, and then the fan spins at the same time. The red brick on the wall, like he comes up and down, and then the 2 little things in front of him kind of move left and right. And then the platform on the far left just kind of teeter-tots back and forth.
See, that's awesome. I just love that because I love with the Sonic set that they made it modular so you can move those parts around. And I think if you were going to go the Fall Guys, which I've never played Fall Guys, but I know enough about the game to appreciate this and appreciate the work and that it can be modular. I think that's so cool. And then it's if they wanted to make another Fall Guys set to connect to it in the future, they could. And also the fact that you can crank them all at once is just that's next level right there.
Yeah, and again, I think one of the cool things about live streaming Lego building is I get a lot of help from my community. So there was one particular person who had spent a fair bit of time with me during the live streams I was working on this. They were essential to help me figure out some of the more difficult mechanical components with it. And just really broke things down for me in a way that made it really easy for me to understand. So yeah, having an amazing community too goes such a long way for a lot of the stuff.
That's awesome.
Incredible. And those characters are those, especially the French fries, that catches my eye.
French fries.
Those are really well built characters.
Ethan and his food.
Oh,
I would say Ethan and his characters, right?
Yeah,
I try. But this one's really cool. How do you this is just a random question. How do you photograph your mocks? I
use a light box. So I have 2 lamps and just a light box, which is basically sort of a tent with clear white walls that just helps diffuse the light as it goes into it. And then I typically use just Bristol board
Something
as
like
the
this.
backdrops, just a large, I don't know, 2 feet by 3 feet sheets that you would use for school projects and stuff that are bendable. And I just kind of let those curve up against the back. And this is something I probably took this on a picture of a blue backdrop, but then completely cropped out the background and then replaced it entirely. But I don't normally do that. And I usually just let the natural kind of color of the background exist. So
yeah. I noticed that you have really good pictures of your mocks, and I'm not the best with that. I only have my phone.
and again, I good lighting can go a long way to make even just phone pictures look way better.
Yes.
So even a light box with a phone can improve your photographic quality. That's a weird sentence.
No, I mean I completely agree. I've been doing a lot of trying to take my own photos for some of my videos recently. I've been doing. And I actually I had a little small white box. And once I found out how to get the lighting just right, it actually made my quality of photos really good. So yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. If you mess with right, just right,
But yeah,
Right.
this one is awesome. Did this one get 10,000 votes? I see this.
So this one I submitted once. It got pretty far and then expired, and I've reposted it, and I haven't promoted it at all, but it's still been doing pretty okay. So I'm just kind of. Admittedly, the Lego Masters craziness was a lot for a bit, and I was a little overwhelmed. And I was keeping up with all of, like, the Lego Masters mini builds and stuff that I was doing. So I'm excited to get back to hopefully making a Lego Ideas project get to 10K again, and maybe getting one approved someday.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be cool. But next week you do a lot
Mini
of mini builds
builds
while live streaming, and you do a lot of corgis too. So that's something.
Yes,
that
we do. Yes,
about.
we do.
But just
Absolutely.
looking at a lot of, like, these are all done like while you live stream. Like, is this like, do you take requests, or do you have?
Yeah, exactly. So I call these streams my Lego viewer build request streams. So typically on Monday nights, we'll hang out for a few hours. I'll let chat, randomly submit ideas, and then I'll throw them in a poll. We'll vote on them, and whatever gets voted on, I will build in the moment. So I use a limited set of pieces just to keep it kind of a little bit easier to work through in a smaller amount of time. So I'd say typically I spend maybe between 5 and 15 minutes on each of these. And so, yeah, the goal is just to bring some fun things to life that are inspired by the people that hang out with us.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
That's really cool
I like
how you
these.
use the community in that regard and have them interact. I love that.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
it's really, really
perfect
fun.
for
And it
live
honestly kind of
streaming.
pushes my creativity too, because I am using a very limited pool of pieces. Sometimes I have to think really outside of the box. Like, okay, I know if I need to build, like, I don't know, like the Mario hat, like, okay, what red pieces do I really have to, like, make this shape? And, like, I only have, like, these big eye tiles. So clearly these have to be, like, my solution. So you kind of got to work around the different parts of it.
That's cool.
What was the hardest thing that anyone's asked you to build?
You know what? There has been one or two that I've actually, like, attempted and not completed. Someone requested Cade 6, which is like the Hunter Vanguard from Destiny. And I just did not have the pieces to pull them off. Just couldn't do it.
That was a sad day.
Yeah, I was very disappointed, but I knew that it was doable, just not with the pieces that I had in the viewer build request selection.
Sure.
Oh, I was just
That's
talking
the
about
hardest
Cade 6. I wasn't even talking about the build.
Oh yeah, that's also very sad. You're totally right.
Sorry.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Spoiler alert.
But I see a lot of corgis in this, and I was
You do,
curious.
yeah. So that was, I think, just a Yoshi corgi that went by. This is like a shark corgi, I think, or maybe a jet plane corgi.
Wait, go back to that one with all of them, Ethan.
Yeah. Okay. So top left is a bumblebee corgi. Top right is a shark corgi, I think. Bottom left is a Yoshi corgi. A middle one is a vampire corgi, and then the far right is actually a fox, not a corgi. So
Once I got a little
like,
different.
even Pikachu kind of looks like a corgi if you kind of blur your eyes.
yeah, at this point, like, I feel like I'm probably just building corgis without realizing it half the time. So
Was there a reason? Did you have a corgi or something like that, or did you make one and then everyone loved it? Like,
the reason it became a community, it's like an inside joke that the community's had for years now, was because I once, for a viewer build request stream, built I think it was the Fox and the Hound, and someone saw the fox and was like, Nick, like, oh, that's like a really great corgi. And I was like, that's not a corgi, it's a fox. But Chad thought it was so funny. But the next time they suggested a corgi, and I was like, oh, guys, come on, it wasn't a corgi. Like, and they were obviously, as soon as you say you don't like doing something, Chad wants you to do it forever. So,
how many corgis do you think you've built over the years?
I actually counted recently, because we obviously got to build a life-size corgi on Lego Masters, because that was actually something they'd been asking me to do for years as well. So one of the craziest things that happened on the show was literally getting to do something they'd asked me to for years on TV.
That's sweet.
And I've done over 70. Over 70.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Yep.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I remember on the show, I was like, when we were running, like, basically to grab the colors, Dom said, I want the corgi. And I'm like, okay, sure. But I heard you say, try to convince me. I was like, okay, I don't want to ruin your dreams. To build a corgi on
Nick just
TV.
like barreling everyone over for that corgi.
Honestly, he doesn't realize it, but like, I'm pretty sure my community would have come at them with like pitchforks and torches. Like,
Oh man, we already have enough hate. But I mean, that was like, I just remember that moment, and I was like, I don't want to hurt. We already have bad on everyone's bad side with coming in late.
Yeah,
So,
riots.
Right.
Honestly,
Jeez.
I'm glad because there was no orange on the brick pit. It's like I'm surprised you were able to.
There was not a
get
lot of
Leo.
orange. Yeah, there weren't even 1x1 tiles. I had to use like the quarter tile dots in some places to like get the smoothness of a 1x1 tile in certain
Really?
locations. It was challenging.
I mean,
Wow.
I bet. I mean, I don't know what we would have done with it. I'm glad. I say I'm glad, but I mean, look at the results of that episode.
It was one of the most beautiful builds of all the ones there. Just because it wasn't strong doesn't take away from its beauty. So
Thank you. But a lot of cool builds. Maybe someone in the comments maybe we can build each character of the stud buds. I don't know.
We're all gonna
next-
come spam your next stream with that.
I mean, guys, yeah, I think chat would support me building you guys for sure.
But
Oh, good
next,
lord.
we're going to more of your just regular builds. Like with this one. This one's like the Lego
That's
Movie
awesome.
poster. This one's really cool. And
Thank you. Yeah, this is I'd probably say this is in my top 5 of all time Lego builds. Yeah, built it shortly before the movie came out. And I actually got to display it at like 1 or 2 of the Lego Movie premieres, like just in theater, that like some kids were invited to and stuff. But it was really, really fun to build.
Wow.
I gotta
Awesome.
say, I love for the crane that you didn't just go the quick route, which is usually using those crane parts for building up that tower there. You actually built your own tower. I don't know. That just like stood out as kind of impressive to me.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, that's
No,
just
like
really
because
cool.
the poster, like you could literally build the poster basically 1 for 1, sort of.
Yeah.
Right. And that like they had a Lego crane from like, and it was like a modified version of like the Lego crane that you got in some of the old city sets and stuff. But I was like, and I already felt bad because I was sort of ripping off the logo. The Lego Movie logo that I built is exactly half the scale of the actual Lego Movie logo that they constructed themselves. And I was like, if I'm gonna rip off that part, I at least need to make sure the rest of this build is like totally creative and unique and doesn't steal anything else. So yeah, that was part of the inspiration for that.
That's
awesome.
cool. He was smart to brick build it because those parts are quite expensive.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, probably.
But next, I think, didn't this get a Beyond the Brick interview? Because I remember a couple of years, a couple of years ago, I remember because I was like, when I first met you, I was like, I know this guy from somewhere, and it was, and I remember like this thing is really cool. But look at that, this thing is big, and that's cool.
I'm not gonna lie, this was the first time that I saw you, like I was introduced to your content. So whenever I hear your name or I think of you, this is where my mind goes.
That's an interesting
Fortnite.
place for your mind to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? This one, this build kind of came about in an interesting way, and that like, obviously Fortnite was very popular for especially when it first came out. And I was enjoying playing the game myself and stuff, so I was feeling pretty inspired. But and I liked kind of how wacky and silly a lot of the things were in the game. They didn't take themselves too seriously, and I thought that made for some really cool and fun ideas. And so I had built like the basic original pickaxe from the game, which was just like a brown stick with a gray top or whatever.
Yeah.
But then like I really enjoyed doing that, and I was like, okay, let's go for something a little bit crazier. And so I ran some polls on Instagram to like whittle it down from a couple I'd really liked. And this one ended up winning. And then I was going to be going to TwitchCon and stuff. And I'm like, if there's any place where I'd get away with kind of doing a little bit of an odd, let's say, cosplay. And this is like what they call, I guess, a gender bend crossplay, and that the character from the game is actually female, but like I'm rocking the outfit as male, of course. But I was like, you know what? Like I've got this giant build. I might as well like try and do some fun stuff with it. And you know what? Like as silly as I may look, I still think I look pretty cool. So I'm kind of good with it.
Yeah.
Whenever like that was like 3 years ago, I forget when that video Beyond the Brick.
This was actually
so cool.
in 2018 originally.
2018,
so 5 years ago now.
I don't know. You look pretty sick in this. I don't know what you're trying to say.
Thanks, guys, yeah.
Like
I would call it
we're rocking that
iconic.
thing. Yeah,
Iconic is a good word too. I'll take that. Iconic.
I
And
like
then
this one.
This one's really cool. Like, I mean, look at that. I mean, this is another. I mean, this is iconic as well. But
Yeah, definitely iconic too. And this one was done as what we call a special viewer build request. So I used to do it at the first of every month. I haven't been able to be as consistent with it. But I usually would dedicate one stream every once in a while where we would do a vote, but like we would take the one idea that was picked and I would like use my whole collection to work on it for a couple of hours. So someone in the community wanted to see the Pixar logo. built, and everybody else voted on it. And so I spent a few hours kind of coming up with this little build of it. And yeah, it was really, really fun to work on. And, you know, I was glad I was able to, you know, have the right color backdrop and stuff for it too. So
yeah, it's perfect.
That's
You know, a
awesome.
lot of these builds, do you keep them built or do you eventually kind of cycle your parts?
a little hit and miss. I think I might still have this together. I think I intended to bring it to some conventions, but like I realized in order to display it nicely at a convention, I'd need to do like a blue backdrop for it. And I was like, this is just getting too much building. So it's probably going to come apart. Most of the bigger builds that I do that I really like, I will keep together. So I have like the Lego Movie logo here. I have like the PlayStation and Xbox there and the patent there. And yeah, like I do keep a lot of my bigger mocks together for sure.
What's the most amount of mocks that you have brought to a convention?
Oh gosh, I don't know, probably in the 20 or 30 range. Like I do a lot of small builds often, so it's usually pretty easy to fill a container up with, you know, a good 5 or 10 mocks. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Next, okay, this is the waffles. So, you know, the last couple of days I've been getting a lot of comments about something about like what is it? What's the
we found the newest host to like Waffle House host or something.
The Waffle House has found a new host. That I don't know where.
Yeah, have you been getting these?
No, I know. This is the first I'm hearing of it. So
straight up, like
Twitch,
hundreds.
Weird.
So it's all over my YouTube channel, and a little bit started going to TikTok. And what I found out was basically some YouTuber who has a very young, impressionable audience told them all that they need to go start spamming that on other people's videos. So you'll just start seeing it everywhere. And it's one of those stupid trends that's just like, I mean, I blocked the words on my YouTube channel because I was getting so sick of it. And that's the only time I've ever done that. But yeah, it's crazy. It's happening like all over. Like if you go to some of my like YouTube shorts and stuff like that, it's all over it. It's insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Almost as bad as the
internet is very
Gina
strange.
cult that we did a couple of years ago.
Oh gosh. That was different. Okay, we didn't go spam hundreds of videos. Like,
oh my goodness.
Every content creator I know who does like a lot of stuff on YouTube is like sent me messages or like was doing stories about that. Like they're like, what is happening here? At first I thought it was just another form of hate comments I was getting, but yeah, I don't know what happened there.
But let's just admire this waffle. It's a good looking waffle. And
this was, I think, like I just saw like I think it was Corsair, so that's like why you can see like my Corsair mouse in the background there. Like had just done a post for like International Waffle Day or something, and I was like, oh, like I don't know why. I feel like building a waffle now, and like I just did it, and yeah.
How long do these builds normally take you, Nick?
This one I think I like probably spent like maybe 45 minutes an hour on, so not too long. Stuff like the PlayStation and Xbox, I know combined it was over 110 hours of actual build time between the two of them. So they can definitely vary drastically.
Right.
That's in TikTok terms. Right. He spent 10 minutes.
Yeah, Ethan terms building something out of Lego.
That was it. I spent 10 minutes building. Yeah.
Oh, this is awesome.
And then this one's really cool. Like this one was a couple years ago as well. And
okay, so did you like really split an actual controller in half to?
Yep, we really did. So this was for that challenge from season 1 of Lego Masters, the cut in half challenge. And I was like, all right, like this sounds like a really fun one. I really want to do it. But I was like, God, what on earth do I own that I am willing to literally saw in half? And I just stumbled upon this old third-party PlayStation 2 controller, I think it was. And I'm like, nobody gives a crap about these things, right? Because like nobody ever wanted to use them anyways. Yep. And I liked that it was purple because I like purple as a color. And I like gave it to my dad and he like put it in a clamp and then just took a saw to it and literally cut it in half for me. And then we glued, I think like a 4x6 plate on like the face that was cut off. And so that was like my only point of building for everything there. So
that's all three of the things that are coming out of it like specialized games or just kind of like, hey, these are kind of elements you would see in games. So like,
yeah, I would say more just like generically inspired by games. So like the left one's just supposed to be kind of like a racing game in general. The middle one's supposed to be kind of like an adventure game. And then the right one's supposed to be sort of like a platform / sci-fi game. So I feel like I would probably say like the far left would maybe be like Mario Kart, or maybe like I really liked Mod Racers, if anyone remembers that from the PlayStation 3, I think. And then I'd say the middle one's maybe like a little bit more of like Skyrim kind of vibe. And then the far right is supposed to be like a mix of like, I'd say like Mario / Destiny maybe, or like Portal or something.
I was thinking Portal. I was like,
Yeah.
bloop.
That's cool. It's a very Lego like it's clearly this is Lego Masters. Like this is one of your stepping stones to getting on the show. And one thing
Thanks,
about
Ethan.
like with our monster camp, I remember that first day, I remember I had that front gate and some of the producers came and like, this looks too much like the Cookie Monster, but we'll let you know if you need to make any changes. And I was like, oh, and that's like, it's better to go broad and not kind of copy, not necessarily copy. I didn't mean to copy the thing, but I thought it was interesting that it's better to go broad and not necessarily.
Yeah, no, find like an original way to do something, right? Yeah.
Cool.
But this one's really cool, and I maybe I would be cool to have some sort of challenge, like maybe do other challenges from the previous season. That's really cool. But next, we got the big llama. I don't know the technical term, but it's a big llama from Fortnite.
The loot
llama.
The loot llama.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So yeah, this was another Fortnite inspired build. I think I just like had a little bit of an idea with like the texture of the gosh, I don't even know what you call it, the pinata texture. And I did a little sample and I was like, oh, this is sweet. And then I think this was like maybe good timing too with like some pick-a-brick at the Lego store, because I think they had like a really good amount of the purple and the lavender at that time at the store. So I was just able to like load up on the parts necessary just from a couple of pack cups to do the majority of this. And yeah, it just came together well. And I was able to like, it opens up and it, like you can actually fill up a little bit of the interior with it too. So is that fun to have? Yeah.
That's
awesome.
Cool. I like that.
Dude,
and lavender. I don't have a lot of lavender, so
I've noticed that
what I see.
It seems like a lot of times your builds are kind of inspired about what's popular, which I mean is really smart way to go about it. If you're, especially if you're making content out of it, like we saw Fortnite in 2018, we saw Xbox, we saw PlayStation. So that's like, is that for social media? Is that I'm just trying to like best way to word this question? Is that like a way that you think people should go of being like, hey, what's popular right now? If you want to, for building mocks on social media, if you want to help grow your audience or something.
Yeah, I know. I do think like being strategic is definitely a smart thing to do. I do think you might struggle with it if you don't have any sort of like genuine enjoyment for those things. Like obviously you can, be a little bit of a fan and have fun building something. Like I built a Keyblade when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, and I had never played Kingdom Hearts in my life, but like I could kind of like feel a lot of my friends and like a lot of people I know online, like how excited they were for it. And like the Keyblade just seemed like a really cool thing to me. So I was excited to build it. But like, in a sense, it was like sort of an intentional strategic move to like build something timely as well. So I think if you can find a good balance of like doing something you enjoy and something that's going to be like timely and popular, that's like a winning combination and is only going to help improve your odds of finding success with like, streaming and content creation.
May the odds be forever in your favor.
With social media, we all know you need to give yourself the best possible chance, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Is that all the builds, Ethan?
We have
this
one. This is Pokemon related.
I would not have expected to see this really one.
Cool. That is.
I'm glad you like it.
I went through your page and I like the color. It's cool. But it's
I feel like most people wouldn't actually know what this one is without it being explained to them. So I think I admittedly feel like I failed a little bit. But like I still think it is some cool builds. And it's supposed to be the sword and shield from Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Okay.
So like I took elements of the shield from the creature's face and kind of just turned them into an actual physical shield. And then the sword, I pretty much just ripped it out of the mouth of the other legendary Pokemon. And just built it as life-size props.
The hat's what gave it away to me. I was like, is this Pokemon? And then the hat, and I was like, Pokemon. Sword and Shield.
Yeah, I tried to like just grab whatever stuff I had around. I'm like, okay, what's the closest Ash vibe I could get with whatever I have on hand here? So I'm glad the hat made a difference there.
Do you have any tips on being a model?
No, I don't think I'm the right person to ask for that.
Just keep your beard well trimmed.
Portrait mode on an iPhone goes a long way, and then staring off into the distance. That's my two-step formula for modeling.
You always look so intense. That's why I asked that.
I mean, You want to look cool if you're holding a sword and shield. If I was holding a sword and shield, I'd be staring off in the distance and looking
Right?
like
Yeah, exactly. It's natural. Totally natural.
One thing that I did, I got the Captain America shield from Bigger Builds, and I recently got an Apple Watch for Christmas, and
Yeah.
I love, like, I just put my phone on a tripod, and I was able to control and look at the screen through my Apple Watch. Oh, it
that's
was
smart.
a game
Yep. No,
changer.
I've got an Apple Watch. I've had one for a few years, and it is absolutely
Boom.
massively clutch for like, admittedly doing photography solo. Because you
Yes.
can throw your
Just set
phone
it
on
on
a
anytime,
tripod and see what your
3-second
phone is
timer.
seeing, and be like, all right, I'm in frame, I'm in focus. Like, let me hit the thing, and then you set it up. So I'm pretty sure I have my Apple Watch on behind the shield there. I don't.
See, I use mine for videoing as well, but the only problem when it comes to with videoing, because you can open the camera and start and stop on your watch,
Yeah.
is sometimes I forget to do the little cover thing, and so I do this, and then you see that I'm recording.
Yeah. But
I'm
like,
like,
I've done that once or twice, and I don't think anyone's ever picked up on it. So it's most people
Yeah.
aren't looking at your wrist when they're listening to you talk.
That's fair.
But
Now I'm just gonna try to
really
figure out a way to make people look at my wrist while I talk. I don't know.
put a meme on it or some words
Yeah.
that like
Ooh,
maybe
that's
what's
a
that?
good.
What's
good
that
call, good call.
emblem a couple years
Oh yeah,
ago that came out?
Yeah, the punch logo.
gotcha
Like
thing.
if he, yeah.
Gotcha.
I remember someone did that when I was playing baseball. I was like, "What is that?" I was the coolest kid whenever I back then.
Homeschoolers.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
The final build. This is the beauty. This thing is awesome. Like, it's really cool. I love like the superhero busting through the comic through the bookshelf. That TV is really cool. Like with the
Wow.
I don't know how you did where it stopped. This thing is really cool.
When they were
but-
showing it off on the video, to me, one of the things that stuck out is how realistic those sorting drawers look. Like, I
Literally.
feel like every Lego fan who has one of those in their room just like popped up, like knew exactly what that was. Like, no matter what, like they're just like, I got a little excited. I was like, that's sorting drawers. Like, as a Lego fan, I feel like you had to have those on the like shelf there.
Yeah, and honestly, that's exactly like why I put them in and why I think I probably spent like a good like 3-4 hours on just those drawers. Because I was like, one, I'm never going to have enough dark blue to do this on my own. I used a lot of dark blue for that build. And then just like, even just the sheer amount of like transparent parts too. And I was like, yeah, it's like not every day you get to like build a cool replica of like something that, you know, I feel like so many people can relate to, especially as, like you said, Lego fans. So it was a really fun thing to kind of just dump a bunch of hours into. I even put in like the little stoppers. So if you want to take a drawer out, you have to actually like angle it up at the end because it's got like, it won't slide out on its own and stuff. Yeah, I went really
cool.
ham with it.
Wow.
That's
Love it.
cool. You need to recreate that. Like, that's
I
something
would
that I see.
I think I'm going to take some very detailed pictures of it when I get to see it at Legoland and definitely try to see if I can get the parts to do it. Cause yeah, it'd be so fun to have that on hand.
That's cool. That is cool.
Have you gotten to see this at Legoland yet, or has
Nope.
it not been displayed there
Nope,
yet?
not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
I think within the next few months, hopefully though. So
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Did you know you wanted to build this? Because at the beginning of Lego Masters, you would think like, okay, what would I, if I made it to the end, what would I build for a final build? Because I mean, in the past, it's always been pretty much make a cool free build, impress us. Was this
Mhm.
something that you had in mind beforehand, or was this more as you went on, you decided that you would build this?
I actually did not have this in mind. I mean, I think like I had some ideas kind of my own, but it was really important to me throughout the competition that like me and Stacy were really representing ourselves as a team, and it wasn't just like Stacy helping me with my builds or me helping it with her, like with hers, sort of. We did do that like here and there, like on the Treehouse Challenge. It was definitely a little bit more of my idea versus hers. And like the ballerina was certainly something she had kind of pushed for a little bit more than me. But for this one, it was really like, I would say a collaborative idea, and we kind of came together on it. They had asked us like a little bit ahead of time to like start thinking about a finale build as we started to get closer and closer. And admittedly, me and Stacey were frankly sort of struggling our way through the bottom two since we had a very long streak there. And we were just doing our best to focus on just keeping our heads in the game currently. We weren't really dedicating a lot of time and effort to thinking ahead because it didn't seem very likely at the time that we were going to be able to do that. So kind of, I think just like in like maybe the 2 or 3 days leading up to the finale, we started to kind of be like, okay, maybe we do have a shot at this. Let's start brainstorming a little bit more. And I don't remember what the kind of spark was, but I remember that the idea started to catch fire when I think Stacy had mentioned like a nightstand, like having our childhood come to life kind of thing, and just like having things on our nightstand. Like, what are things that like everybody's had in their life that's like kind of been a place where they put important things? And then we like went from the nightstand to the bookshelf. And then as soon as we landed on like the bookshelf as being the canvas, the amount of ideas we had for things that we could put on there was just endless. And we're like, okay, if we're this excited about potentially putting all of these things on the bookshelf, this has to be like a good idea.
Yeah.
So, and I think we luckily managed to just like, kind of find our groove with it and get a lot of the things that we wanted to in this build done and done pretty well. And yeah, it was really, really exciting that it turned out to be a winning build.
Awesome.
I'm not gonna lie, when I heard you're making like on the first part of the episode, like you're going like, oh yeah, we're just gonna make a bunch of things that are nostalgic and like a bookshelf. I was like, that like because I knew you guys were gonna as I said, I kind of knew you guys were. I was like, that doesn't sound like a winning build to me. And then I saw it in a final, and I was just like, that's like the fact that this turned like to me, I seen like a bookshelf and just a bunch of random stuff that doesn't sound interesting, but wow, did like you guys change it around the way that you built it come to life? Like there are times where I've had to take second glances at this to make sure that that's Lego because like it just looks so good. So
thanks so much. Yeah.
There was a question. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say like this was obviously just like a really good opportunity, of course, for me to lean into my strength of doing replicas and stuff. And like, yeah, I just remember having so much fun with like the wheels on the skateboard and the drawers on the Lego sorter and like on the back of the TV. Unfortunately, you didn't get to see it, but like I built a power cord and like it has the two like metal prongs on it. And there's like the auxiliary, like, or the RCA plug with like the yellow, red, and white on the back and like a coax cable feed. So it was just like really, really cool to get to bring all of that to life.
I want to ask this question. Moto brought this up and he says you guys can't build direct replicas.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that
admittedly
true?
I probably need to double check my contract and verify that. I do believe for the most part it would be for the sake of selling them, but like I feel like they probably wouldn't care too much if I just had one for me to have. But
well, he said you could do minis. I don't think they would care that much. I mean, like you said, for you.
And I mean,
just
like,
make it two. You make it two studs,
but like I don't know what person from Fox is sitting there going, "Oh man, I can't believe he replicated something he did on the show. I'm gonna like go strip his title or something." So yeah,
literally.
I'll see
you in court.
I don't know. Probably better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and like even someone in chat mentioned like. And I think that there is one angle where you can see just the edge of it, but like we put like a lost sock on the back of the shelf. Stacey did some fun little carvings on the back of the shelf and like some crayon drawings. So there was just so much opportunity for us to bring like so many fun, silly details to the build. And I think that's why it ended up being one we were so excited about building and we're able to build good enough that people loved it too.
That's if I had built this, I would be really proud of it. And huge congratulations. This is an incredible build.
Thanks so much, Ethan. Appreciate it. And thank you for all the kind words, guys. You guys are all so kind about it. So really, really means a lot. And I know, like, please know I'm going to take all of this amazing feedback and pass it off to Stacey as well so that she can also be.
It's all crap. Okay. This was all garbage. This is the worst build I have ever seen.
Yeah, no, I'm going to take this one in particular. And be like, yeah, I had a really great time on stud butts, but man, that Brad guy, oh, dude,
never coming back.
Never again.
Since you all did have 24 hours to build this, was it kind of more relaxed to like, I'm guessing, with the previous challenge, you only had, around 8 to 10 hours per challenge. You had 24 this challenge. Was it kind of more relaxed and more chill?
I would say there were times where it didn't feel quite as intense. Definitely. Having just a little bit more room to breathe with some of the building elements and just feeling like, you know what, it's kind of okay if I go an extra 15, 20 minutes, even an hour over the time I kind of intended for this part of the build. When you were doing that on other challenges, like if you saw you were falling behind, like you really felt the pressure of it. Whereas with this one, it's like, you know what, that's okay. Like if I putting more time and effort into this build is really going to be rewarding and be an important part of this build. And I can maybe find other ways to adjust throughout the rest of the build to make up for that time. Whereas a lot of the time you wouldn't feel that otherwise. So yeah, definitely a little more relaxed.
It's awesome.
Sweet.
Is that all the builds, Ethan?
When Yes, this is the. Are there any
Okay.
other builds that I didn't show that are like your top favorite builds? Like, what is your
I would
favorite?
say my favorite Lego build of all time is the Lego Nintendo Switch that I built. And if you'd like, I can grab it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure,
you're
yeah,
welcome
that'd
to.
be awesome.
Thank you.
Not you,
Yeah,
Brad.
so
We don't
this
want you
is,
in here.
Actually, I'm gonna grab the main one here because I have it. But so this
Oh, you
is
see
my
the mini
Lego
too.
Nintendo Switch. And it is as close as possible to 1-to-1 scale that I think you can do in Lego form. And of course, being the Switch, it's not really a Switch if you can't switch it around. So the Joy-Cons are removable, and they actually have like a little clip here, and they literally clip onto a bar there, so you get that sort of like click-in effect with it. And then let me grab a different one because I don't.
That
have
is
something in
so
there.
satisfying.
But these also have like removable game cartridges, so you can literally swap the kind of center of it round and then have like a game in there. But you can also take the games out. So if you want to like change what game you're playing, you can literally just pump that out and then put something else in there.
That is awesome. That is
That
like
is
that's
so
really
cool.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I've got like the Joy-Con holder too, which also has the same like sliding and locking feature.
I am impressed.
He presented
Very
that so
impressed.
perfectly
whoa,
too.
okay, bring that back for a second. The
The
thing
Switch
that
lends itself well to that. So
True. Can we see that controller again? Because there's just sorry, I love little details. The fact that you used one of those 4 hole pins for the plus side, and then one of the bricks that go in a little bit for that minus.
so
I love that.
I gotta
Sorry.
admit, I tried for probably like a good hour or two. This is actually just a sticker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
I
thought it was
tried.
one of
I
those
know the brick you're
bricks that,
talking
like-
about, and I
yeah,
tried
okay.
it, and it didn't. It was too big relative to the
Okay.
plus that it just looked out of sorts.
Okay.
And I tried all sorts of weird Lego math things, and I just could not find a solution. I was like,
Okay.
if Lego was going to do this in a set, they'd probably just print this, and like I'm gonna be like, all right, I can accept that. Like this was my one compromise, I think, on the whole
That's
thing.
still so cool.
Yeah,
That
Sorry,
axle hole,
little
though.
details.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
really
The
cool.
axle hole is like the exciting one, anyway. So.
Oh yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. So yeah, the only non-Lego thing about the Switch is the minus sticker.
Okay.
Everything else is 100% like maybe not perfectly legal building. Like I don't know if a sausage in the in that piece there is maybe considered legal or not. Like it's a little bit loose, but
I'm
I
calling
call it
Lego
legal.
law.
it's Lego.
That is an awesome piece that I was considering to get 45,000 of them, but I decided.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if that would have been your best investment with the 90,000.
40,000 sausages. Done.
Oh my god.
I don't know. There's some
Didn't you-
cool stuff you can do with that. So.
But you know what, Ethan? Oh, I won't make that joke. Matt will get mad at me. Never mind.
Didn't you put this?
You
on
know where I was
ideas?
going.
Let's get back to topic.
Is this going on Lego Ideas?
So actually, it was designed for Lego Ideas, but I posted it the same week they announced the NES, and as soon as that happened, the project was swiftly rejected, and they removed all Nintendo-based projects or Nintendo console-based projects off of Ideas,
Man.
and it's not something I can submit,
Dang.
unfortunately.
Dang.
That's crazy.
So you can't resubmit again?
Oh, that's because they
Yeah.
Because Lego has made a Nintendo
Oh,
console,
I
They have
see.
an
what you're saying.
they now
agreement.
have reserved the right for them to make any Nintendo console,
They have an agreement.
and therefore I
Would
cannot
you-
post one.
Would
You just submit
ever
it directly
consider
to him and be like,
Yeah, do you have the email for that? Because I don't know what that email is.
Hey, look, I can find it through some sketchy means. I can't promise it's the
Oh,
right
my
one, but
I mean, I'm willing to send emails to anybody about it, so I don't really care if it's sketchy or not.
what were you going to say, Ethan?
Well, you had I believe you had the privilege to meet a special person named Chris Pratt. How was
I knew that
he?
was coming.
Yeah, no, like I'm just gonna call him up because I totally have his number, and I'll just be like, "Hey, Chris, can you like link me up with the pros at Lego and make this a thing?"
It's like
I know, Chris.
was
I will.
there.
Will throw. Chris Pratt was very nice though. Super reasonable guy. I only got to spend about 2 minutes with him, so my time was very limited. But
I'm sure that was the best 2 minutes there.
Ethan's hero.
you know, there are these 2 minutes where I was really surprised about someone showing up, and I think those were the best.
Oh, how sweet.
it was. You need to get that on a T-shirt, like where you have the T-shirt. No.
Oh.
I don't think it's of Ethan though. I think it's of the T-shirt. I think
It's not the T-shirt. Emily actually did get that T-shirt, but
That is
we did get
that's
a
that
Lego
is like
version
that
made,
is
of course.
awesome.
That's really funny.
That is
I
Me
love that.
reacting to seeing Ethan.
Or pretending.
Oh, we're not pretending. No, we wouldn't do that on TV.
yeah, not reality TV, right? It's reality.
Reality
for
TV,
sure.
guys, come on.
All right, moving
Reality.
on. Moving on.
We won't talk about that. I forgot my line, my name, my name.
Oh my goodness.
Way to go,
My
Ethan.
line, my name, my name, my line.
He forgets it right now. Makes sense, everybody? Yes. Got it. Great. Good.
All right.
All right.
Do we want to move on to our last thing of the show then?
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
I think so.
So usually we do a segment called How Was Your Week? And we just kind of go over Lego stuff about like, any new things you built or any new sets you've gotten, or anything Lego related. And so, but we love to move that to end with the guests because, hey, we want to go right into asking you questions. But Matt, let's quickly start off. How was your week Lego wise? Anything fun happen?
Honestly, this was a pretty relaxed week in terms of like me building. I was trying to get more content done than anything, and honestly, that doesn't always involve building, sadly. But I do have like a special stud buds presentation-ish, not presentation, but like something that I've not
PowerPoint?
shown yet because I do have a YouTube video coming out hopefully tomorrow.
Oh.
According to plan. It's a very short one, but I did just get some stuff sent to me that was just recently announced, so I can kind of like sneak peek it here from the LAN. So I will be coming out with a review of the new Lego Botanical sets, which I'm
Nice.
excited to have. I don't have any of these in my collection yet, like the older regular flower bouquet or even the bonsai tree. So it's really cool to finally be able to build a botanical set. And then I'm also really excited to have, just really quickly, this bad boy. So coming out. Yeah, we're twins.
Okay.
Oh, really? Oh, wait. I have nothing.
I know we didn't
Yeah,
do
I'm excited
Lego
for that
news
one
this
too.
week, but I did kind of want to talk about this set if possible. How do you guys feel about the log cabin? Though, I guess maybe I should ask the two people who haven't got it sent yet. Just like quick thoughts about it.
Oh, I mean, sorry, we're not all cool
Yeah,
and we
no,
just get
yeah.
Very
Lego.
grateful. Very grateful.
Some of us
Thank
aren't
you
in
for
Lego's
that.
pocket, okay? No, joking.
Sorry. We like Lego. We're not endorsed by Lego. We're not sponsored by Lego. We just like the Lego.
We haven't sold our soul. Not joking.
Oh my goodness.
Well, way to go. Wait, Brad, you took it too far. It was a joke and you just ran it into the ground. It's cool. It's definitely cool. I don't know much about it. I didn't even know it was a thing until everyone started posting about it on their stories and whatnot. I love a good looking, a good structure, a good building, like the engineering side behind things. I'm hoping it's sturdy and strong. I wait to see some reviews coming out before I can give a full, honest opinion on it. But as far as I can tell, it looks neat. It looks very unique.
Yeah. No, I'm really excited to put it together. I'm sure, as are you, Nick.
Yeah, I will say
grateful.
I've been following that, like the Lego fan builder for a long time. Norton 74. I've been a big fan of his work for years. So, just like hopefully I will get to be very excited one day. It was really awesome getting to see like a fan designer kind of have their dream come true of like being a Lego designer. And I think they did a pretty good job of taking like a lot of what made his original submission very desirable as a Lego set and like brought it into the set, the actual set. Cause sometimes you see like, the Lego idea submission and then you see the project and you're like, there is a big difference between these.
Like a
But this
foosball
one
table?
doesn't feel a lot like that. Like there are some changes that I'm sure were made for the sake of making it more of a Lego friendly set. But like you can tell the spirit of the original build is there. So I think that's really awesome.
I noticed they made it a lot more modern than the original design, which felt like a little older in terms of like being a rundown log cabin. But this A-frame is definitely more modern, and I really like a lot of the new parts that I'm seeing on the box, and I'm just really excited to put it together because definitely is different than the rest of the things in my collection as well. So I'm very excited.
it kind of reminds me of the blacksmith a bit, just in style of how it is. I don't know, just like that. Because like I was having a hard time with it because I was looking at it, I was like, I don't know why, but there's something I don't like about this. And it's because the build's amazing, the set looks amazing. And to me, it's just like I don't know what to do with this set. It's like a cool display piece, but it's like I think I was expecting that older look to it, which I was excited about as the castle guy. I was excited to have this older look A-frame building that I could use.
Sure.
But I think, don't get me wrong, people. I think it's an absolutely amazing set. I'm really excited to see how people use that. I love the Thor's hammers as the stonework.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think there was something in my head where it's just like there's a few sets that they do that are really cool. It's just I'm like I don't know where I'd put this if I got it. I mean, if I had some forest scene in my city, I guess I would do that if I actually had a city. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I feel like this set almost does maybe just have like a very specific appeal to people who like have had like a cottage, cabin kind of like experience in their life. Because like I was very fortunate to grow up like having a cottage, and so I feel like this brings a lot of the memories of that kind of back, and like just having that experience of like staying in like not such a nice place. You're not camping, but you're like roughing it out in the wilds a little bit more. Yeah, you're going to chop your own firewood for the fireplace inside. It's got like, it gives you those cozy vibes. And so I think like the building experience is probably going to be very like much a nostalgia trip for people.
Yeah.
Honestly, like
the only
I
thing
can see
it's
this.
missing are monsters.
Ah,
That would be
Monsters in the
camp,
woods.
like, Ethan, oh my gosh, you should get this set and like make it part of your monster camp. It's so good.
I was gonna say I can see this as like I can see somebody mocking it to be a part of their winter village, honestly. To go under the Christmas tree or something like that. But
I feel like
Zane.
if there was still that city line that was happening, there was that forest city line for a while. This one would go perfectly with that. Just that kind of same feel. But yeah. Zane.
Totally.
So I have a lot of building to do coming up. But Zane, did you get any building in this week or new Lego at all?
I got the TIE bomber and I grabbed an avatar set this week. Oh yeah, the tree, the I am totally blanking right now. The tree of life.
I don't remember what the tree called either.
You spent $150 on it and you can't even remember the name.
Yeah, I told you guys, I'm dying at 50. Okay, the memory's already gone. Dementia's
How
kicking
much
in.
sleep did you get last night?
Zane.
3 hours, buddy. 3 hours.
I'm hoping for 50. Hopefully.
Yeah.
That's a joke that didn't interpret well.
I haven't. Yeah, I know. I haven't built any sets this week, but I picked those up.
Positivity, people. Positivity.
Hey, we're being positive. We're just trying to crank out as much Lego as we can before the end comes. So like, positivity. Tons of Lego. Tons of building. Just go, right? Hit the gas. Full throttle.
Hey, Wrathful, for your next edit, can you please go through all the times Zane says he's dying at 50?
Sorry, that's been my thing this last week. Ever since I found out about my eyes and everything, I'm like, I'm dying at 50. It's just it. I'm moving, and so I haven't built anything. I'm kind of disassembling a little bit. Like I have my shark and my stuff that I'm debating on, like fully disassembling in my mocks and whatnot, or if I want to just like take them and just go with it.
Why would you disassemble it? You were so proud of that build.
I'm so proud of it. I love my little shark.
Don't take apart that shark, man. Do not take apart that shark.
If you Nick, you might
Lego Master Nick says you can't take apart that shark. Okay, that's
stays together.
Fine, exactly. It'll stay together. So I got some new tattoos recently, and I've been trying to build all of the tattoos out of Lego.
Yeah. No, so I've seen some of your TikToks on that.
What? You watch my TikTok? I feel famous. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so that's my week. Ethan, what about you? I can barely see the blur that is you, but sure. What are you doing what'd you do this week? Yeah, exactly.
So
Ethan, everybody.
Leave him alone.
No, I don't care. I'm on TV.
Wait, Ethan, you've been doing that too.
I've been organizing my minifigures, and we got like accessories, so it's really nice to have all my minifig parts sorted. I don't know what I'll do with them, but I also organized my more minifigs as well. So that's really what's
good
my
lord.
week. editing a YouTube video as well, but that's still weeks out before it's finished.
Yeah.
But what about you, Mr. Breaking Up Brad?
Oh,
So first off, I built the Republic Titan set, which this set is a piece of trash. And unless you're buying it for the figures, I do not recommend this set at all.
really?
I built it recently at a friend's house because I bought it because I try to get the cheaper clone sets when they come out. And it looks decent, but the build is so basic. Like I have one of the older ones and in my opinion, it's complete garbage. I don't know. I'm not a Star Wars. I used to be a really big Star Wars person, and I've been moving away from that line more.
You
and
still
more
buy
lately.
the sets
Once in a while.
Hate on
I will
Star
say though,
Wars so much.
the
I'm not
TIE
buying Star
Bomber
Wars.
though was good. I enjoy the TIE Bomber. I still need to finish that, but I did really like that set. Also, my regular Friday and Tuesday pickups of the Castle CMF figures. The only place I can find them is my Lego store, so I know when they get taking the shipments in. So I just pick up. I got 2 orcs this time and a falconer, and I got an orc and a falconer last week. So I've been getting at least 2 of each a week. So
y'all would be so proud of me. I went to Barnes and Noble the other day, and they had the CMF with like the dragon and all them in it. I don't remember which line that is. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Dementia. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this the right way. I'm gonna fill the bags and get the little dragon one that I want, and I did it. I got it. I got it first try.
Well done.
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Thank
I'm
you,
happy.
thank you,
That's
thank you,
awesome.
everybody.
Just in
am
time
actually-
for them to move to boxes.
I know. Way to go, me trying to do
You
something
can't
new.
see it if I zoom in, but I am working on setting up about 500 of my castle figs for convention season because I'm going to try to do something with that.
If it's
And
not
I'm-
Castle, he don't like it.
It's true. But I've been setting them all up on my board and seeing what factions I have because I got just a lot of lots, and so I was organizing out the parts and trying to figure out, all right, what factions can I build? I did actually my first Bricklink order of parts in a while. Because I really want to collect all the castle cloth flags. So I was able to get the Fright Knights and Royal Knights cloth flags, which are just super cool. And I was able to get some other cool parts to help myself army build with. Shipping.
Sipping. So he's talking in a G-rated content
No,
kind
Yeah,
of.
the
exactly.
apple juice. He's working on some
Yeah.
apple juice there.
Yes, apple juice.
Castle,
castle, castle, castle,
castle. All right, now you can't.
Good lord.
The other cool thing, and I can't wait. I'm actually bought some stuff to go with this, and I can't wait to wear it at conventions. I got this Exoforce hat, which this is official Lego Exoforce hat. I found
saw
on
that
the
Instagram
for
post.
about $19.
Wow.
I don't know. I think it's sick. It kind of just fits on my head. Like it's a little bit. I don't know. I think it's a style.
It looks like
It
a
looks
toddler
sharp to
hat.
me.
But I honestly am so, as you guys know, big Exoforce fan. So I got that, and I found out through our good friend Mark Erickson where to get Exoforce shirts from, and they may have been having a sale, and I bought a couple. So
Ooh.
You
I'm
deserve
excited
it,
for that.
Brad.
I do. Thank you. So I'm gonna have my castle outfits with Brick Monarch stuff when I go to conventions, and then I'll have the Exoforce look. So I need to make an Exoforce mock next, which is my next goal. So yeah, that was. Is that all the Lego I bought? Yeah. I guess that was all the Lego I bought this week. So yeah, Nick, anything new building wise, or any new sets you've gotten?
Yeah,
How's your
I've
year?
actually gotten a lot of sets recently. I was very fortunate to get a pretty big chunk of the 2023 January sets that was
Nice.
launching. Unfortunately, didn't have time during the holidays to work on them. And admittedly, as the finale and stuff was happening, wasn't a good time for me to be just building Lego sets for fun. So I've been working on some of the Monkey Kid and Ninjago stuff. I did Jay's Titan mech the other day, which I have to say I was quite impressed with.
I like that.
Really, really came together nicely. Has bendable knees.
It's about time.
Bendable
Is that
knees
like-
on a Ninjago mech, right?
Nice.
Moving up in the
So,
world.
pretty nice there. And then I started on the Monkey Kid Team Hideout, which is also pretty darn impressive. I haven't been
Oh, that
putting
is
stickers
cool.
on this one, but it's
I
got
love
a
the
lot of
colors.
really cool, fun little hidden features, like the little pig head that pops out with some blasters there. So yeah, lots of cute little hideout features, which have definitely been really fun. And then funnily enough, last night on stream, I did a special one-time only Corgi edition of Viewer Build Request. So only taking corgi related requests.
Oh
So,
my
I
gosh.
built 5 different corgis last night alone.
That is awesome.
So are you gonna try and go with like how long do you plan to do the corgis? Because Matt went a couple years doing the mat dance. Because I'm sure you've seen the mat dance somewhere.
I've definitely seen and supported the mat dance.
Yeah.
I've never done it myself, admittly, so I apologize, Matt. I let you down there, but
No, it's all good.
it was an amazing dance.
But
Honestly, it's not, the problem is, it's not up to me. It's like, as long as someone in my community continues to care about dragging it out,
Oh my gosh.
like they will never stop forever. Like that's just it. I'm doomed. So
until someone gets sick of the joke,
Do you have
until
like
everyone
a
gets sick of the
big
joke,
bin of
basically.
just corgis?
yeah,
Keeps them all
definitely
together.
could. Well,
Where are
the thing
your
is, I
corgis
take
now?
apart most of them every week. So like, this has probably been the most corgis I've ever had together at once, just because I do them week to week, but then I take them apart so that I have the parts again for the next week. So they don't really last too long. I do have like a row of. I mentioned I do like the special viewer build requests, and of course, like 5 or 6 of them have been corgis. So I do have several corgis permanently assembled. But
My goodness.
It's awesome.
and then I think otherwise, like just more Lego sets to look forward to. Obviously, the A-frame is going to be an exciting one. I've got some of the new Mario and Avatar stuff to look forward to as well. So I'm just going to be enjoying lots of Lego sets. Though I guess one thing I do have exciting coming up this week is I'm doing a meet and greet at a Lego store in Vancouver on Saturday. So
That was
Vancouver.
actually about to be my next question. Is there anything our viewers or even the people who come in from your channel, any new content or anything that you are doing in particular that they should be on the lookout for?
yeah, that the meetup would definitely be one to look out for. If you happen to live in the Vancouver area, Stacy and I will both be there on Saturday from like 1 to 6 p.m. Pacific. And we'll just be hanging out at a table. We're going to bring some of our mini builds to display and just be like saying hi to folks and saying thank you for all their support and stuff. So it'll be a very fun time. And then in terms of like content otherwise, I think one of the things I've been admittedly very slacking on it, but I did intend throughout all of like Lego Masters to do a little series called Behind the Builds, where I kind of give people insight into kind of like what me and Stacy's thoughts were and some of the tech building techniques we used on each challenge. And I only did 1 episode of that covering the first 4 challenges. So I still have 2 more episodes of that to do. And I have the plans and works. I just haven't like sat down and filmed the videos, but I am excited for to get those out, because that was honestly, I think, weirdly one of the coolest parts of the experience was people like coming into those videos like, wow, this is some really great insight. Like, thank you for taking the time to make this. And just like, I'm sure you guys, as you know, when like someone's really grateful for some content that you make, it really does mean a lot. So
yeah,
for
that was super cool.
Is that a YouTube series, short form content? Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're like probably around 8 to 12 minute videos. I think they'll all fall in the range of, and yeah, they're just like me going into like particular techniques and certain challenges and stuff. And for I think Ethan will like this. I'm going to show people how to build the monkeys from our pirate ship, because ours were the superior monkeys. I don't know if Dom will agree with that or not.
Just
but
because they're the color of your hair doesn't mean they're superior.
they're very different kinds of monkeys. They're very different kinds of monkeys. So yeah.
I mean, like real quick,
That was the build
Matt.
that I was like, "Oh, are we gonna finish this thing?" That was the most stressful challenge that I did.
Yeah.
Matt,
Yes,
before
Brad.
we wrap up here, any content your people from your all that everyone should be watching out for you?
YouTube tomorrow should be, fingers crossed, unless I have a technical error or something like that. Very short video, but always trying to post as daily as I can on TikTok. Although with me trying to shift more focus to YouTube nowadays, might have a day here and there where I'm not, but usually always on TikTok, and then Instagram, Facebook. I have a page there if you wanted to come over. I'm almost to 100 followers, so shout out to the Facebook fam. But
Facebook.
primarily short form content. But the best way to support me right now, honestly, if you're already on TikTok and everywhere else, go to YouTube. I'll be there.
But
And
we're
you
on
got
YouTube
some new
right
videos
now.
coming out.
Zane,
Any new content from you coming out that people should know about?
I'm trying to hold myself accountable this new year, because I always say that there's not enough time, right? But then I find myself like after working or doing this or doing that, like I'm watching TV, right? Or I'm playing my Switch or Xbox or putting things into the PC or working on my car. I'm always doing something, which
You
is
always
fine.
fill
Like
your time.
yeah, I fill my time with other things, which is great. I need my me time for sure, but I'm trying to put forth that effort into content. So I'm holding myself to at least one YouTube video a week, and I'm trying to continue my Empire Strikes Facts stuff going on every Friday. So I have another one coming out this Friday that I've already filmed and edited, and everything's good to go. I just have to post on Friday, so I'm trying to hold myself to that. And after I move, I need to put a bunch of sets and stuff back together. So there will be a lot of live streaming coming up.
It's awesome.
It's cool.
Ethan,
you should make a like moving vlog or video for TikTok.
I did it last time.
Yeah.
Maybe show people how to pack up their Lego. That's a question I get a lot.
Oh yeah, we
Me
got
too.
tagged in a video about that recently. Ethan, anything real quick from you?
So I'm working on a YouTube video right now about my cyberpunk mock that I actually built over a year ago, which is kind of crazy, but I'm now getting time to making that video. Which you can see parts of it. It's totally taken apart, which is sad, but hopefully I'll be able to build it back together. Because sections of that mock are everywhere, but I have the voiceover done, so that's good. And also I'll be going to Atlanta BrickCon, which is a Lego convention in Georgia, the first weekend in February, so that'll be really cool.
Yeah,
I'll be
it's like 3 weekends
bringing
away.
some mocks there. Oh wow! But I gotta finish that cyberpunk mock, and I have a lot of my other builds all in my living room, all displayed, and I decided I'm going to make my cyberpunk mock. I will take.
My guess, it will
I spent
take you 10 minutes.
When I get my parts, I'm going to. I spent 10 minutes building something with 45,000 parts. That's my idea.
Oh my God! Please do that.
You liar.
You liar.
Hey, I'm the Flash.
Nobody got that BPM, man.
That,
Nobody.
But with that, just check me out on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, my 13 followers on Facebook, Twitch. I don't even know if I have anything on Twitch, but
I do,
YouTube,
but it's been
TikTok,
a really
Instagram
long
are my main,
Yeah.
my main thing. But stay tuned. I kind of called this year the year of the make or break kind of. So I'm kind of rebooting, making sure, am I able to do this full time? So that's hopefully I'll figure that out this year. But yeah, I appreciate everyone's support. What about you, Mr. BrickingUpBrad?
So in 2 Fridays from now, the newest Tavern Talk will be coming out about the Troll faction, which will be really cool. So if you love the orc and you want to know more about the faction it's kind of based off of, highly recommend checking that out. And then also I posted a video not a few days ago about every castle CMF, and you guys seem to really like that. So I'm actually gonna do every space CMF here very soon. So I think you guys really enjoy those. I'm also gonna be doing some space content here soon, and even a little bit of Exoforce. And I'm working on some really cool live streams in the mix for Knights of the 2x4 table. So really excited about all those. So hey, look, guys, first off, thanks to BrickinNick for coming out and joining us on this really just
follow him.
off the wall episode. Yes, links down below, Matt.
Yep,
right.
I got them all.
All links down below if you aren't already checking out this amazing fellow. Also, guys, as we said, go drop us all subscribing on our YouTube channels, TikToks, Instagram, whatever it is. Look, we are posting a lot of content. I think you guys want to see it. If you love Stud Buds and what we do, I definitely think you guys will love what we're doing on our separate YouTube channels. So I think that's it. See you guys next week, same time. Bye-bye.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Go follow
Is it
Nick.
ending?